Welcome to One More Round with Josh Norris. Today I'm excited to have Laura Stratton back. If you remember several weeks ago, we had an excellent podcast interview, but today we're on site at Burn It Build It because we had some more specific questions I wanted to go over with you today. So how you been since I've seen you?
Great, man. Yeah. Great. Yeah, busy.
It's awesome. Well, the studio's nice and cool in here. When I walked in, I guess you guys were having air conditioning, but this is like perfect. So, one of the things I really wanted to dig into today was kind of what makes Burn It Build It different. I know you guys do strength training and nutrition, but I wanted to, what are the four main differences of Burn It Build It Fitness, would you say?
Yeah, so when we have a lot of people call in, they want to know what makes us different from a lot of other studios that are out there.
Yeah.
And there's really just a slew of things that makes us very different. Number one is we are a strength-based studio. We have the ability to actually challenge your body and be able to perform, place a demand on your muscles that no one else can really do. The second thing is we do sprint-based cardio. So we're not going to just waste time running you to death, rowing you to death, but we can actually challenge your aerobic capacity, so therefore we can improve your heart and lungs through short cardio bursts.
Okay.
But then what really makes us different from a lot of other places is we have the ability to do nutrition, rehab and prehab and recovery. We do one-on-one, we do smaller groups. So we're kind of that one-stop shop when it comes to fitness. So we can help you in every aspect, and then we really do a great job of mentoring and helping out our staff, so therefore we have the best trainers that are in the Valley.
So let's dive into those four then individually, because like strength-based training, I've been training on and off since I was like 15 years old, sports and that kind of thing. How do you incorporate so many different body styles into the training, knowing that they're going to need different types of weights and setups?
Yeah, so when it comes to the programming aspect, we really stick to the largest muscle groups of the body. That allows us to do a variety of things. Number one, it allows us to increase your lean body mass. And by increasing your lean body mass, then we can actually increase your metabolism and actually get you the results that you're looking for, right? And the only way we can do that is to place a solid demand on your body. So unfortunately, the 5-pound weights, the 10-pound weights, they only go so far, and we get through them quickly and graduate to heavier weights. So we have to really challenge the body in that aspect. But when it comes to the variety of fitness levels, that's a lot of just training our staff. So they see where someone's at, they understand how to progress them appropriately, so we can actually help them start to learn how to lift their weights, how to place that demand on their body, so they actually see the results that they're looking for.
And do you guys work on a progressive overload then with them as they're trying to establish their goals?
Yeah, with a certain expect, yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, there's lots of different programming matters out there, but with a lot of my college teams, you have people that want to put on size. You have people that don't want to put on size. You have people that want to get stronger, right? You have people that want to drop body fat percentage. And then you have everyone that just wants to look better, move better, and feel better. So the nice thing about our programming is we really valued getting to know our members. So my trainers know what their goals are, who they are, and where they started from. So therefore, hey, I know this person, I know they're looking to put on a little bit more size. That's going to come more into a nutritional aspect, right? So we can still challenge their body without making people big and bulky, but we can also help you put on the size. But that is going to be more of a skilled nutrition aspect as opposed to just the programming.
I love that because so many, I'll throw it out there, I'll throw the CrossFit, Orange Theories, some of those people that do group training, they don't individualize it, right? So it's not necessarily what that individual person is looking to do, whether strength gain, build muscle, or whatever, whereas you guys incorporate all that, which is, I think, a huge differentiator.
It was a big thing of when we opened up, is we really wanted the ability to still challenge them cardio-wise, because that is important. We want healthy heart, healthy lungs. If you want to be able to hike a mountain and go hit Camelback, you want to be able to do that and not feel like you're going to die, jump on a bike, and just kind of enjoy everyday life.
Right.
But we found that there was very much a missing niche when it came to the strength aspect. We don't do any Olympic lifts. There's a reason we don't do the Olympic lifts. It is a difficult movement. It is difficult to teach, and there's a good chance of injury. I was the college athlete, professional athlete. I had to do it for my sports, and there just comes a point where you're not interested in injuring yourself anymore. Right?
Can you give an example of a couple of Olympic lifts in case somebody...
Yeah, so kind of like an overhead squat, a power clean, clean and jerks, You know, those are kind of your main ones. You know, so there's, I mean, and if that works for you, awesome. Like, go be great in your area. But for what we've found with most of our members is it's not a matter of if you injure yourself, it's a matter of when. And I had shoulder surgery. I was out for 9 months. And being a active person that likes to do things, man, it was a brutal 9 months. And it took me a solid year to get back to where I would even just hang from a bar and do leg lifts, you know, to challenge my abs because I was nervous about the shoulder. And when we designed Burn It, Build It, it was the concept was, man, we have people that want to just come in. They want to sweat, they want to get stronger, but they don't want to injure themselves. You know, and what's the best way to prevent injury is we are form Nazis. We will break it down to the gnats behind so that way we do it correctly. But we're also going to challenge you in a safe and effective way so you get stronger. But because of those treadmills and the ability we have to challenge your heart rate, we can accomplish kind of the same thing through a different programming scheme.
Totally. Well, let's dive in a little deeper on that. When it comes to the cardio aspect, I know you guys see it very differently. And to get people's results, cardio is, you know, you do more of a HIIT type of cardio, correct?
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about that and what people would expect.
Yeah, so really our great members, I treat them like my college teams, and I train them like my college teams. You know, if we look at the style of athletes that we would like to look at, you know, from an aesthetic standpoint, everyone wants to look like a 100-meter sprinter, a 400-meter sprinter. You know, I mean, that's kind of, you look good, you're lean, you're strong, you're powerful, and it's like, man, I would love to look like that. And if you want to look like that, you got to train like that. You know, so 100-meter sprinters and 400-meter sprinters, 200-meter sprinters, they're not running miles upon miles upon miles. And one of the things I learned with my college teams is if we can challenge your lungs and your heart, right, your aerobic capacity, and once we get you to a certain point, we can run shorter, quicker sprints, and we can maintain your ability to go distances if that's your thing, right? So, I mean, we had a lady that started off and she couldn't walk a mile. And in 4 months, she ran the Pat Tillman run, which is 4.2 miles.
Wow.
She ran it without stopping, and she ran under a 9-minute and 30-second pace, which is phenomenal for someone that just never goes out and runs.
Right.
But because of and she didn't do any running outside of our workouts, but just through our sprint-based cardio, she was able to run a good pace and be able to keep going because she had the aerobic capacity and the lung capacity to do so. But the other nice factor in there is because we lift weights, she didn't have any issues with shin splints, plantar fasciitis, patellar tendonitis. So a lot of the nagging things that happen to runners because they spend so much time running, they forget the lifting aspect, they start to get injured and little things just start to nag in. We don't have any of those issues.
Why is that? Is it because their muscles are stronger around those areas that they would normally have problems, or?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to, you know, unfortunately as we age, we become more sedentary and you lose your lean body mass, right? Use it or lose it. We've all heard that way too many times.
Yeah.
And if you can actually strengthen the muscles around the joints, then when you're exercising or you're up and moving, the muscles take a lot of the impact off the joints because they can keep the joints structurally sound, and the muscles are set and ready to fire. They have more nutrients, blood, oxygen. They're used to firing, so they absorb a lot of those issues. When you start to lose those muscles, now you pretty much just have bone on bone, and you got the joint capsule. And as you wear and tear, arthritis and all those other things start to pop and rear its ugly head.
Well, I think that's a huge hidden gem because a lot of people, I mean, myself included, you don't think, oh, I'm going to do strength training so that I don't have shin splints or I don't have some of these ailments, but you know, structurally it makes a lot of sense the way you say it that way.
Yep.
Now, Burn It, Build It, I mean, you guys are a one-stop shop, right? You don't just stop here in the gym and say, hey, go live your life and do your thing and good luck. The other, 6 days and 23 hours you're not here, 21 hours.
Yeah.
You do nutrition, right? You teach them how to eat, you have supplementation. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I mean, besides just our classes, you know, we want to help our members. You know, we want to help our members get to their goals. And you can't out-work out a bad diet, right? So we're going to talk and help them with their food and their nutrition because it goes hand in hand. You know, I mean, so many people struggle because they'll eat a candy bar and it's 220 calories. and then they think they can go in the gym and work really, really hard and burn off those 220 calories, and it's a one-for-one trade. And unfortunately, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, yes, calories in versus calories out, but it's not that easy. Otherwise, America wouldn't be 70% overweight. And really, the amount of effort it takes to burn off that 220 calorie candy bar is closer to running 5 to 6 miles continuous in order to just burn off that little calorie dosage, right? And so there's a lot of things that happen in on your body, but a lot of our members, they don't necessarily know that, and just general population. So what we do is we break apart nutrition and really simplify it, because there's a lot of information out there. There's so much information. So we simplify it to make it easy to help you understand, so you can feel your body better, which is gonna help aid in your performance, which helps you feel better. And when you move better, and you perform better, and you feel better, you naturally wanna eat a little bit better too. And we slowly just tighten the screws and help you get from point A to point B, so therefore you are seeing the results that you wanna see, you're looking the way you wanna look, and you can do the things that you enjoy doing.
Well, I love it because you guys build it in as more of a lifestyle. And hey, these are just the types of things that are gonna help you feel good, but it's not like you guys are saying don't ever have pizza, or at least
No, yeah.
I hope not. But you're not serving it at like Planet Fitness at the front when they're
Nope,
leaving
yeah,
yet,
yeah.
right?
I'm not high-fiving you at the door with a donut.
All right. Yeah. So, you know, with that, I know I've met some of your staff and trainers. I mean, they're highly educated, and really, I should say, highly trained by you guys. So, like, what makes your trainers different than trainers at like a CrossFit gym or something like that?
Yeah, so we have the privilege of being selective, right? So unfortunately, degrees and certifications, just like any industry, right? It's like, you know, you get out of nursing school, you don't really know until you get in the field, right? And there's such a hands-on to teaching you to be successful. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of that in fitness. So it's not just about hiring a trainer that's certified or a trainer that has a degree, but you really got to look for people that have been successful, who have actually done something in the field, right? And the beauty of Burn It Build It is we are highly trained. So we are well educated, I have a double master's, and we mentor our staff. You know, we've been in fitness, this is not our first go in fitness. We've been in fitness, with all of us, you know, all the business partners, we've been in for over 30 years, right? And so we know what it takes to be successful. We know how to help people and how to keep them motivated. And once we get a new trainer in, regardless of how educated you are, they all somewhat struggle if they haven't been in the industry.
Right.
And so we really take an opportunity to mentor them. So we are talking nutrition, we do weekly training meetings, we do weekly workouts. You know, we do a lot of things with our staff behind the scenes that you don't usually get. And most of them, you know, we'll get from other big box clubs and things like that, and they'll roll right in and they're like, oh, I thought I was gonna roll right in and just take over and be awesome. And they're like, I had no idea, you know?
Wow.
And so there is the training process that goes to helping them become good to great to exceptional, which is the standard for us.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I got to experience it firsthand here, and it was the 3 major lifts, right? So
Yeah.
squats, deadlifts, and bench press.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was much heavier and bigger, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna come in here and do it. And it was squats to start with. And John comes in and is like, hey, you want me to help? You know, any advice? And he was waiting for me to say yes. And I'm like, yeah, of course. So he's like, cool, take that 45 off, take that 45 off.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he started just tweaking my squats. Well, the next day, I'm like, God, I'm sore in places I've never been sore doing squats. So yeah, you weren't doing it the correct way.
Yeah.
Bench press, it was you.
Yeah.
You know, you were spotting me. And you're like, cool, we're gonna take some weights off. And then, you know, you're helping me with the structure and everything. And that's what you teach your trainers. And that's what, you know, people get when they get here. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of our members like to know, you know, like anything, we like to know why. You know, why we do things a certain way, why we lift a certain way. And the beauty here is, you know, my trainers, they have a desire and a thirst for knowledge, right? We all have a desire and a thirst for knowledge. And so if we can teach you the why behind and allow you how to fire the body appropriately, that does a couple of things. Number one, yeah, we may strip off some weight, but you'll get stronger, right? You don't have the wear and tear on your body that you get with other things. So your injuries very much decrease. Our members don't get injured here, which is really, really nice. We still have the very first members we signed up at our locations because we do a good job of helping them correctly, they can come and it keeps it part of their routine and they don't get injured, right? And so when you actually fire the muscle the correct way, prevents injury, structurally sound, and now our body is prepared for that movement. And so we just like to teach the why behind so we're all on the same page.
And you know, one of the things that I haven't really seen other places them push is the like prehab, the rehab, things like foam rolling and that. How do you incorporate that? And I mean, is that something that really helps the members not get hurt?
Absolutely, because there's a big difference between, you know, like a trigger pointing and myofascial release and being flexible. And so I have people come in like, man, I stretch every day, but I got sciatica, I got IT band syndrome, I got, you know, my calf, you know, my arch, my elbow, my shoulder, and they'll be like, but I'm stretching, what am I doing wrong? I'm like, you're not doing anything wrong, but flexibility doesn't have much to do with when you're tight and knotted up.
Yeah.
And so if we can show you how to roll out a piriformis, how to roll out your hamstrings, roll out your quads, you know, roll out your chest after a good, you know, chest day, then what we can do is we can keep those knots from happening, so then your body can actually sit the way it's supposed to. You know, so much of what we do is arched over, on the phones, on the computer, driving, just kind of sitting, right? And when you do that, your chest is shortening, which is gonna put pressure on your traps and in your neck. And then people are like, man, I got this headache, or I got this, you know, right here in my trap, I don't know what's wrong, my shoulder hurts. And when we roll out their chest and they're actually allowed to sit their shoulders back the way they're supposed to, they're like, my pain is gone. And it's like, beautiful, that's what we're looking for. And so if we give them just 10 minutes a day of rotating through based off the workouts, then we always stay on top of things, we don't have to play catch up, and you feel better.
You know, and that's a good educational piece too. I didn't really know that stretching alone isn't gonna help, you know, prevent knots and take it away.
Yep.
So you gotta roll out the muscle.
We gotta roll it out, and when you place a demand on it with weights, eventually it's gonna get knotted up, right? We don't necessarily recover as well as we used to.
Right.
And this is also where nutrition, supplementation can come into play as well. Is if you're not giving your body the good nutrients it needs to help rebuild the muscle, you're going to have more knots. And if you have more knots, you're not gonna feel as good. So we gotta break them up. We gotta fuel the body appropriately for what we're doing to help you be successful. And then you'd be amazed how you start to really look forward to coming in for your workouts.
Awesome. So how can somebody come and try Burn It, Build It, and then you have 2 locations, correct?
We do. We have a location in the West Valley out in Avondale, and then we have the location we're at today, which is Midtown Phoenix, 7th Street, Glendale-ish.
Okay.
So we're offering 2 free classes. So you can go on our Instagram, our Facebook, website, burnitbuilditfitness.com, book for those 2 free classes. We'll get you booked, help you out. We'll start you depending on where you're at with your appropriate fitness level. And then the more we know you, the more we're able to challenge you and better help you.
Love it. Well, I think you guys are one of the best things in fitness going. So if you guys haven't tried it out, if this is somewhat close to your home, I recommend come in for the 2 free workouts. You'll be shocked how good they are. What a great community it is. So, well, thanks for taking the time again today.
My pleasure, man.
You're the only person to be back on twice.
I'll
So
take it.
awesome. All right, we will see you guys next time.